I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to welcome all the people who are here, but it's the necessary ones. So welcome, Bill Richmond. Welcome, Brian. So, the first order of business is the approval of the agenda.
No additions or subtractions from the agenda as presented.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Approval carries. Patron comments. Okay, a lot of head shaking. Board minutes, approval of board minutes. We've all had a chance to read them. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as listed.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? They are approved. Special presentations.
Just a couple things. The first presentation, the Project Lead the Way award presentation, due to some COVID issues and shipping, we didn't get the banners and set that I was hoping to present to the board today, but we will be receiving banners for being recognized as a distinguished district, and also each building will get banners to display inside and out for being distinguished schools. Just to clarify what that means as far as being a Project Lead the Way distinguished district, we were one of 24 in the country to receive the honor, and the only one in the state of Indiana. And what it is, it shows our commitment to STEM education, and also it shows our commitment to using high quality STEM education opportunities that are provided through Project Lead the Way. It speaks to the number of staff that have went to training and have received the Project Lead the Way training, which is pretty grueling. It's not simple training, but we've got a lot of teachers. Actually, every one of our teachers at the north side have been trained at this point, and Carly Brandstetter at the junior senior high has been trained. Brittany's going to be trained. So it's pretty grueling, and it's a testament to their willingness to step up and do it and make it possible for our kids. So it's an awesome award, and it's something that as a board you all should be very proud of.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge accomplishment.
Oh.
I'm very proud of the whole staff.
I wish it was under different circumstances where we could celebrate it the way in which I want to, but when the time comes, we'll definitely get the word out there and celebrate that for sure. So next item we have is a robotics presentation, and I wasn't sure. I know that Treva's here. If she comes in, I'm going to let her take over, but she does have a presentation that I'll share with the board, and that has a little video as well. So I'm going to disappear if you're watching at home for just a minute and share this presentation with our board. First of all, this is the first year for robotics, and Treva stepped up to the plate to do this for us. It's not a paid position at the school, so it was, again, a testament to her willingness to step up and go above and beyond and provide another program to our kids. And she's done a phenomenal job. She wrote some grants that assisted us in earning the funding in order to buy the robots to make this possible. So she's got a little presentation here that I want to share, a great video that she put together that I'm going to throw on social media next week.
That's awesome.
So, first of all, she was very creative in putting that video together with our two video experts in the room. That's not just something you just wake up and do, so good job, Treva, there. But she did provide some feedback from the students that participated for the board to see. Being their first experience that did compete, I don't think none of them were happy with necessarily how they did, but that's a good thing, that they're driven to do it better next year. But we think they did awesome for their first time. So I'm just going to scroll slowly here through some of the comments from, these are student comments, just so the board can see some names, and you may know some names, put with faces here.
They have some good ideas.
They do have some good ideas. And they've already written the grant in order, I think there was mention about t-shirts and the new robot, new course for next year. Treva and Andy have already got the grant in place to purchase all those items. And Carla Grandsetter's actually written a grant to do this with the junior high students as well.
Wonderful.
And get good wheels, huh?
Right? Yeah, you gotta get the good ones.
Yeah.
Not too good with that.
Look, you learn it from the first year. If you could have seen how excited Treva was. when
Well, she's giddy. This is her program. This is her
Oh.
baby.
Right from the beginning.
There's some good problem solving going on there.
Well, that's nice.
I think most of us know Miss Hinkle's son.
Mhm.
Short and to the point.
That's right.
Oh,
What
boy.
more do you need to say? Colton first the play over the work, which I
Mhm.
understand.
Mhm.
This is just some information on how the robotics began. The RESC hosted a robotics camp at the 4-H Fairgrounds last summer, and that really grew Treva's interest in pursuing this. She knew there were going to be some students interested that were from Randolph Eastern at that 4-H camp, like Colby Hinkle was there, I believe. So she went over there and checked it out and realized, hey, we need to do this. She applied for the grant from Tech Point Foundation, and the rest is history. I mean, she saw a need after seeing her kids in action, and Treva went after it. So she has a lot to be proud of, because she made this realization for her students and has really prompted Carla to take it to the junior high. So it's exciting.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so next year's challenge is a little different, and I'll show you just a quick video of seeing what our kids are up against.
Welcome to the 2020-2021 game, VEX IQ Challenge, Rise Above. There are 3 ways to play VEX IQ Challenge, Rise Above.
First, 2 teams will collaborate in the 60-second teamwork challenge matches, working together to maximize their score. Both teams will receive the same points.
Each of these teams will consist of 2 drivers and 1 robot. One driver will operate the robot for the first half of the match, and the other driver will operate it for the second half.
Second, each team will have the opportunity to compete in the driving skills challenge. In these matches, teams have 60 seconds of driver-controlled time to score as many points as possible.
Third, each team will also have the opportunity to play programming skills challenge matches, in which they have 60 seconds of autonomous robot operation to score points, no drivers allowed.
Scores from the driving and programming skills challenges will be combined to determine a Robot Skills Challenge champion.
Vex IQ Challenge Rise Above is played on the new, wider field, measuring 6 feet by 8 feet.
Robots and game objects start in the field in predetermined positions, and there are 9 goals located around the field.
Be sure to double check the robot size rules this year, as they may not be the same as previous Vex IQ Challenge games.
The scoring objects are risers, with a height of approximately 8.75 inches and a width of approximately 7 inches. There are a total of 27 risers on the field.
The object of the game is to score as many points as possible with your alliance partner by scoring risers in goals and completing rows.
Each riser scored inside of a goal is worth 1 point. Each riser stacked on top is worth 1 additional point.
If teams score 3 risers of the same color in a row, they will have a completed row and will earn an additional 3 points.
If teams can stack 3 risers in the same goal, and that goal is part of a completed row, they will have a completed stack and will earn an additional 30 points.
Teams will have to experiment with different scoring configurations to figure out the most efficient way to score points.
For official game rules and robot requirements for Vex IQ Challenge Rise Above, please see the...
So as you can tell, it's pretty extensive.
Yeah.
They build these robots. Not only do they build robots that they control, but they have to build robots that will code and run on their own to
Wow.
do some of these challenges. And we're outfitting the old pod fishbowl or old computer lab
Yeah.
that you may know right now, so it can build and hold the robotics table and also be a project lead the way room for our students. So really exciting. And again, this kind of just goes out that they've already found ways to pay for these items. This is not a burden on the school corporation, though I'd be happy to help them if necessary, but they went out there and they found the grants available, and they're writing those grants, and I think our odds of getting those grants are very high. But the registration fees, all those things can be written into grants. And like I said, if necessary, we will do our part to assist in getting them to competitions. But they've done a nice job, Carly, Treva, and Andy, in making this happen. So, just a couple last comments there. You all have access to the slideshow. I encourage you to dive into it a little bit more. But at some point, when things get back to normal, we'll have the robotics team come do a presentation for the board, so you can actually see the kids and see what they're doing. It makes it a lot more personal than this, but I wanted Treva to get the information out to you because she deserves to be recognized for what she's done, but also those students need to know that we support what they got started for us. So. There you go. Treva, if you're watching, I know you're watching somewhere. Great job. Thank you so much. And with that, does anybody have any questions about either of those abbreviated presentations, the Project Lead the Way Award or the robotics presentation?
That's very well done. Okay.
It's really good for our kids.
With that, we're ready to move on.
Action items. Claims approval.
Motion to approve claims 6236 through 6322, payroll 8, 9, and 10.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Field trips.
No field trips.
Gee, what a big surprise. Personnel consent agenda.
If we could, I would like to, these first two certified personnel, we got two young ladies that are Union City alum that we are hiring back to assist us. And like to vote on these separately. That way Bev can abstain from the first one. But first one is Britney Osbourne. Britney came in January for us just because she was back home and was looking to sub, and she landed in our 7th grade classroom as a long-term sub and did an incredible job. I can tell you the growth that we were seeing from January until unfortunately we got shut down in March was incredible. And she didn't stop. Again, she was a sub, but she kept teaching through this e-learning time, which is not something you would typically ask a sub to do, but she did it, and did a great job for us. And we pegged her for a couple of responsibilities, but we're creating a new engineering program at the junior, senior high, and with her skills, her technology skills, and the way that she can command a classroom, we thought she was a perfect fit for us. So I'd like to start by recognizing or asking you all to approve Britney Osbourne for this junior, senior high school project Lead the Way / business / PE / we'll just call her Swiss Army knife right now for the time being. But what we foresee this being is being a part half-day business and half-day engineering as this engineering program grows. So
I'll make a motion to accept Brittany.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Brenda, congratulations. I hope you're watching.
Yes.
We'll take care of you and recognize you appropriately at another point. But the next young lady, I'm excited again to bring back Lydia Ralston. Mr. Winkle interviewed a couple candidates a couple of weeks ago for the second grade teaching position that we have open with. We had a retirement, and then we have Miss Robson moving into a Title I job, opened up a classroom position, and Lydia has signed up to fill that position. Lydia, bless her heart, has already participated in our Project Lead the Way training before even being officially hired by the board, but another great kid, good kid to bring back to Union City, and I'm just happy that we're able to invest again in some Union City kids that are coming back home to work with our students. So I ask that we approve her hire as well.
I'll motion to approve Lydia for the second grade teacher position.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Great. The next items here, first of all, asking that we hire Vincent Pierce for a summer technology assistant. And the next item there is, I talked to you all about hiring 4 people to assist in our paper project, and on the agenda it says 5. The reason being because the 4 that are willing to work had some days scheduled where they're going to be out, and I've notified them that you can take those days, but we're not going to pay you for that time. But the project down there, again, if you ever really want to see something amazing, go down and see the paper that we've collected over the years, right, Linda?
I
So-
want to do what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking that we,
A lot.
that you give me the permission to keep 5 of those ladies on board with us throughout the end of June. I won't get into July with this project, but throughout the end of June to complete that project. And if the project's done prior to then, we'll be done. So
So you need a motion for the non-certified personnel.
I make that motion. It's a big project.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Coaching recommendation.
and the next thing you have there, and instead of putting them on the agenda, I added an attachment for fall and winter coaches. Just ask that the board recognize and approve those coaches as presented with the board packet.
We just need a motion to do that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Any discussion first? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Resignation.
Last personnel thing we have here is a retirement. Kathy Mills, is custodian down at the junior, senior high. Been full-time with us for 3-4 years, right, Linda?
Sorry.
She's been full-time with us for 3 to 4 years, somewhere around there. And was part-time prior to that. Yep. So we appreciate her service to Randolph Eastern and wish her nothing but the best going into retirement. So We need a motion to accept it.
To
No,
accept
we don't.
it?
No.
You approve that.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
just
you can't
a
tell us no.
notification.
Okay, so that's not.
Sorry, that was
No,
voted down.
That's not I have to do.
So are we into old business?
Yes.
We are.
Final reading of the student handbooks. So if you guys are okay with it, we will approve both the junior, senior high and elementary together.
I move that we accept them.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. New business.
First item there for new business would be the approval of the north side and the junior, senior high book fees for 2020-21. I'm very proud to say that our book fees were kept very low again. I think when we see the numbers come out, surrounding schools and those, I'd be shocked if there's anybody close to us as far as our book fees, and that's very intentional for our students. But just ask that our board approve those so we can start advertising those to our parents.
I did have a question.
Yes.
Now, we'll, in the fall, we'll have the, sign up for the free and reduced, and with the economy the way it is, that is tied to that.
To book fees?
Book fees
Yep.
and lunch, so
Yes. So your question is
It's
if they
important
qualify
that
for
people-
free and reduced, will, can their book fees be kept? The answer to that is yes. So yes, it's very important that when we do registration, obviously with the situation we have going on, we're setting up online registration. It's going to be very important that our families fill out that free and reduced lunch form, and we'll do a lot of follow-up with families as well, because qualifications have changed. And what I tell all our parents is, doesn't hurt anything, fill it out. Then we know, and it can be an assistance, especially during this time.
and there's a
With everything going on.
threshold for where we all,
Yeah, there's a threshold that we were close to encroaching on. That threshold's now kind of being toyed with, to be honest with you.
by the state.
Yeah, so we don't know if we're going to get to that spot where we can offer free lunches to all our students. But with what we have running right now, all of our lunches are free through the summer program. So there's this discussion, depending on what school looks like in the fall, that program may continue. So yeah, that would be under the question mark.
Okay, that's, I was wondering. Thank you.
Okay, so do we have a motion to accept those book fees?
I'll make a motion to accept the book fees for
I'll
the
second.
North Side High School.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Budget calendar.
And just ask that the board should have a chance to review the budget calendar for 2021. It just seems like we just approved the 2020 budget, but here we are talking about starting the 21 budget process. So we just ask that the board approve that calendar.
We could have a motion.
I'll motion we approve the adopt 2021 budget calendar.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is I'm asking the board to approve us to work with administrative assistants again this year on constructing the 2021 budget. Bob Coddington works for administrative assistants. Jeff Stevens wasn't available to work with us this year, and Bob we worked with towards the end of last year on some items. I'm very confident that Bob's going to come in and be a very good teacher and mentor. So the hope is that he will teach me and get me prepared to where for the 2022 budget, I'll be able to fly on my own with them, just overseeing, making sure that I checked all the right boxes. So,
Yeah, and we knew at the outset that it would be a
Right.
2-year thing, so,
Right.
yeah.
It's been a real easy 2 years. I move that we accept the help with the budget there.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Assuming there was no discussion. All opposed? Motion carries.
Way back before the COVID issue hit us, I believe our baseball coach and softball coach approached the city, or vice versa, one way or the other. The city got involved in assisting the athletic department in purchasing a new pitching machine, which we're not going to get to use, unfortunately. But they did make a $500 donation, and our board policy says that the board needs to accept anything that's $500 or higher. So just asking if the board accepts that donation.
I move that we accept the donation and thank the city for that.
I'll second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Last item here, asking the board to allow us to pay a one-time stipend to the cafeteria staff, maintenance staff, and those employees that have really continued to work during the height of this COVID crisis. Had a number of employees come in when a number of others were not able to, and they kind of put themselves at risk. This is an allowable expense through the K.I.S.S Act. So I'm just asking that the board approve that list that was shared in your board packets.
I move that we approve that list of employees for the stipend.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Review of reports.
Just ask the board if they have any questions. It'll be interesting for us to follow the cafeteria numbers. They went down because it's a month behind as far as our reimbursement from the state from all the free lunches and breakfasts that we passed out. As of today, we're over 23,000 meals that we've handed out in the past 6 weeks. So it's pretty incredible. Our numbers average right around 365 a day. So that's pretty incredible. And it's a testament to the work of our staff. But
Yeah.
as everything else is doing okay, our budget targets will change a little bit. This is a 3-pay month, so our June budget target will look a little different, but we're also starting to get reimbursement to our rainy day from our bond funds. So we'll see a lot of movement for our June board meeting with our budget targets.
Okay.
Any discussion or questions?
So,
No?
no. It all looks good. And that brings us to department comments. Corporation staff comments. Well, let's see, we have 3 here. No comments? Yeah. All right. Then we go to superintendent comments.
Yeah, I do have a number of things that I just kind of want to share with the board and just publicly with folks. First thing is that we are surveying our students and staff currently on how they felt this whole 8 weeks went as far as e-learning, with just their overall experience. Getting very good data back from those 2 surveys. And next week I'm developing a survey to send out to our community and our parents, asking for their feedback on how this went, but also proposing some potential ideas of reopening. And, you know, the current situation, if we were to say you're coming back to school tomorrow, would you send your student back? And we need to start being aware as a board and as a corporation what those numbers look like and get a feeling for how our community feels about the reopening process. So that survey will be going out next week via Facebook, and we'll send it out through our messenger and make sure that we get as much good data back from our parents and community as possible. Couple items for the class of 2020. I hope they appreciate the board that have behind me. Miss Loomis came down and did some artwork this morning, so I'm not capable of doing that, but she did a great job. First of all, Brian and Phil are here. Incredible job on the awards program. It'll be aired Monday night at 6 o'clock, I believe. Job well done, Brian and Phil. Short time window we gave these guys to put together an awards presentation, of which we announced the winners of a lot of money. That's what that awards presentation is about. And we get to recognize our kids that have excelled academically And Brian, Phil, Neil, and Jason, they did an outstanding job putting that together. So I can't wait for people to experience this virtual award ceremony. It's going to give a lot of different people an opportunity to see it, because a lot of folks don't want to come and sit through the 2.5 hour presentation at night, so they miss out on it. But what you all did with that was top notch. I'm really excited for it to get out there. So that'll be Monday night at 6 o'clock. Also, on May 30th at 2 p.m., we'll have our grand class of 2020 parade. That route's online and available, but we're asking that all our residents that live on Howard and around Walnut and down Pearl Street to come outside. We're asking community members to surround the roads, get out your air horns, cowbells, make signs for our kids. We've got a golf cart parade set up for them. Our emergency services are going to lead the way for them to make some noise, but they deserve that, to be honored that way. I think it's really cool, and I'm excited for it. But I want to make sure everybody knows that May 30th, that's Saturday, May 30th at 2 p.m., we'll have that parade. A couple other just general items. Our lunch and breakfast program will continue through June 18th. Thursday, June 18th. We kind of chose that day to shut down to give our folks a little bit of break. We may come back and restart that in mid-July, just so the board will have that discussion further. But I really want to talk to Trella and see what her staff, how they're feeling going into the school year. We should have some more information at that point too. Next item that I'll just share publicly is a lot of questions coming in about athletics. What's reopening going to look like? And I have written in my notes just 3 question marks. What I can tell you is after our meeting with our health officials today, it's not going to look normal. We have to prepare ourselves that it's just not going to be exactly what we want it to be. That COVID's not going away. That's what the health experts kept telling us today. It's not just going to magically disappear. So we as a community have to really start wrapping our minds around that reopening our schools is going to look different. What's athletics going to look like? I don't know. I don't know how we play full contact sports in this world right now, but we're waiting on some guidance from the IHSA concerning that avenue, and we're waiting on guidance from the IDOE and the governor's office on what, the guidelines for reopening our buildings. But it's going to look different, and it's going to be a challenge, but we'll take it on, we'll be fine. But it is going to look very, very different. So that's all I have. Leave it to see if there's any board comments.
Anybody? You might add that question to your survey, asking families about the lunch program going into private.
Will they take part?
Yeah.
I would just like to say that our entire administration team has just done an admirable job of handling all the curveballs that have been thrown at them, all of the challenges that they've met and overcome. Instead of looking at them as obstacles, they've chosen to use them as opportunities, and have done their very best. They've thrown their hearts and souls into making the best of the situation for all involved, not just the kids, but the parents and the entire staff. The rest of our staff also has really stepped up, and we couldn't ask for a better family than our Randolph Eastern family. Very, very proud of them.
And we do want to congratulate the class of 2020. So
Absolutely.
hopefully we can get a lot of support, get people to come out and support these kids. But we wish them well, and we can't give them a usual graduation, but we're going to give them something special.
I'll put Brian on the spot. I think
Yeah.
they're going to get a pretty special video to take
Yes.
with them, carry with them the rest of their life. It's not what any of us wanted, but I think we'll make it pretty special for them. So,
Sure. Any other comments? All right. In that case, this meeting is over.
all right.
Thank you.